Okay, bit of a different video today. No, your eyes not deceiving you. No, this is not clickbait. I am leaving university for good. I have actually already filmed this video once today, but only the second half of it was actually usable because the audio messed up, so I'm fine. But anyway, yeah, bit of a plot twist in my life. Kind of a long story. I have a lot to say in this video, so I've split the timeline into like different sections that I'm going to be talking about, which are number 1, my reasons for leaving university, number 2, like how I guess I came to the decision, and 3 is my plan for what I'm going to do after university / instead of. Before I get into it, just want to disclaim, for one thing, I'm not encouraging anyone to like drop out of school or anything, I'm just telling my story. And also, you may think that I am being stupid and that I'm going to regret this decision, etc., which that's fine, you have your opinions, but I know that this is the right decision for me, so save your thumbs trying to comment all that and trying to change my mind. Okay, cool. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into it. So, starting out with the part that you guys probably actually want to know, and that is the reasons that I am leaving university. And the first one, which is kind of the main theme for the rest of them, is essentially just being less stressed and not trying to balance 2 essentially full-time jobs. Like, I did not actually think it would be that difficult to balance university and YouTube. I figured I've got university 3 days a week and I've got the other 4 days to get 1 video up every week, right? But when you factor in all of the homework and the editing and thinking of ideas and even just like cooking and cleaning and food shopping and laundry and all that other stuff, it's just a lot. And I kind of just got to a point where I was like, whether it's now or a year from now or a week before finals in my last year, like, it's gonna get to a point where I just can't handle doing both and I'm gonna have to drop out at some point. So I guess I would rather make the decision for myself instead of waiting until my mental health deteriorates to a point where I like don't even have a choice about it anymore, if that makes sense. And I figured if I'm gonna have to give up one, I would rather give up university, which leads me to my next point, which is the fact that for me, university was always kind of a backup plan. Like, if you're new here, don't know why this is the first video you're watching of mine, but if you don't know, I do makeup at university. But the thing is, I never actually intended to become a makeup artist. Like, I still love makeup and I still want to do that, like, as a hobby, and for Instagram, for example, I have like a makeup Instagram account and maybe do like the odd makeup job here and there, I don't know. But obviously the course I'm on is intended for people who actually want to become full-time professional makeup artists, which, like, I just want to say it's not to do with like the course or the university that I'm at. Like, my teachers are great and everything like that. It's just not suited for the type of thing that I want to go into, I guess, which is more my fault than anything else. But the point is, it kind of just got to a point where I was thinking, like, why am I spending years and so much time and effort preparing and like working towards a job that I hope that I never have to do, especially considering that like makeup isn't something that you need a qualification for unless it is something that you want to do full time. Plus, I can always go back to university in the future if I decide to. Even if I did, I'd probably do like a business course or something instead, but it's just not where I feel like I belong right now. Which kind of leads me to the next point, which is by trying to balance both, I like couldn't put my full effort into either. And so I got so behind on my university work, as well as the fact that the videos that I was posting on here, you know, would either be late or they just would never be as good as I knew that I could get them. Like, I was never proud of the videos I was making because I like just didn't have enough time to like edit them as well as I wanted to, if that makes sense. And the other thing is the fact that even if I did finish university, I would still be in this exact same position 2 years from now. Like, I would still just want to go on to do social media full time. I would still need to move back home probably until I could afford to get my own apartment. I would just be 2 years older and have 3 times as much student loans to pay back. So this just kind of makes sense for me. I know a lot of people are going to see dropping out of school as like a massive step back and like, what are you gonna do? But for me, it's kind of like the opposite. Like, I'm basically just fast forwarding 2 years and just starting my life 2 years early. So anyway, that's it for my reasonings. I've probably missed out a few, but those are the main ones. So anyway, moving on to, I guess, how I actually made this decision. Weirdly, this kind of started like back when I was home for like Christmas and New Year's, when I was having a conversation with my friend Amanda, when we were just discussing like what we thought our lives would be like a year from now. And I said to her, I don't think I'm going to be at university anymore, which at that point I had like no intention of dropping out. I had no like reason to think that, but I was just like, I don't see myself being there a year from now. And I mean, I was right. So not saying I'm a psychic, but But anyway, fast forward to like a few weeks ago when I went home for Easter. And this whole trip, I was just thinking the whole time, like, I was just loving life. Like, every second of that trip I just loved. And like, I was constantly like busy that whole trip. I had one day off, like right at the end. But the rest of the time I was either filming or editing a video or something. I was seeing friends, or even just like when I was just running errands with my mum, like every second of it I just loved. And I was just thinking the whole time, like, I wish that I could just stay here. Again, not actually considering dropping out at this point, but I was just thinking, like, I just wish that I could stay here. And then like a couple days after I got back here, which was like a week ago, just one night I was like falling asleep, just like thinking about random things, when just like a little thing in my head just went like, drop out of university. And I was like, sorry, what? But then I like kind of started to think about it a little bit, and I was like, actually that kind of makes sense, but I'm also tired, so like maybe I'm just being stupid, so I'll think about it in the morning, right? But then I woke up the next day and I was like, actually that would solve all my problems, and like that actually sounds great, and I actually want to do that. And then for the next literally like 5 days, however long, I was just thinking about that constantly, all day, every day. Like, that's literally all I did for like a week straight, until I got to a point where I was like 90% sure that that is the decision that I wanted to make. I like went so back and forth on it, but eventually just decided, like, I'm pretty sure, but I need to double check with the universe, you know how it is. So I was like, universe, send me a sign if this is what I'm supposed to do. And the first thing that came to my head for some reason was balloons. Don't know why, but I was like, okay, if this is what I am meant to do, then show me balloons, okay? I kid you not, in the next like 24 hours, like 5 different instances of balloons came about. So number one being right after that, I randomly just decided to read my old diaries from like 2 years ago for absolutely no reason, and balloons that I don't even remember drawing. Which also, like 2 pages after that, I'm literally talking about a podcast I was listening to about a YouTuber saying that the reason she didn't go to university was because she didn't want to give herself a backup plan, because that way she had to make YouTube work out for her. So that was number one. Number two, this poster that has been on my wall for literally months. Only then did I realise that there is balloons in the background. Number three, I was scrolling through TikTok and there was a video of a girl wearing a dress made out of balloons. Number four, I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea, obviously. And for some reason, I was just like walking around the whole kitchen. I don't really know why, but I saw in like the gap between the wall and the freezer was a popped balloon down the side of it from one of my roommate's birthdays, like months ago. And then last but not least, I went onto Pinterest and the first picture that came up on my feed was a tattoo of the house from Up, which is what? A house being carried by balloons, as in like moving house. So anyway, that kind of confirmed it to me, and that essentially is what eventually made me decide. So, and anyway, like a day or two after that, I told my parents, who were actually very supportive. Like, I was kind of expecting them not to be, but they were very supportive. In fact, like further than that, they were like encouraging me and like agreed that it was the right decision for me. So very grateful for that, because obviously I know a lot of people in similar situations don't have that kind of support around them. So very grateful for the fact that I do. Thank you, parents, love you the most. And anyway, that kind of brings us up to speed. So now moving on to the last section of this video, which is my plan for after university. So number one was tell my parents, tell my teachers, and tell you guys, which after you've seen this video, I have now done all 3. Haven't told my roommates yet, actually. Should probably do that. But anyway, next step, have a complete makeover. Basically just entirely reinvent myself, which I have like appointments booked for a bunch of different things over the next like few days, week or so video to follow. But in like a week I should hopefully look like an entirely different person, which is what I'm going for. So next is finish my last 2 weeks of university, because I mean I'm gonna be here for the next 2 weeks anyway. Figured might as well go in, even though I probably won't, to be fair, but you know, just all that counts. Next is to pack and clean my room and cover up all the marks on the walls and everything, which is going to be the longest, most tedious process, so not particularly excited for that. But then after that, move home, which I am moving on Saturday the 8th of May, so next Saturday, so very excited about that. My parents coming down with a moving van, and then we are going home, and oh my god, I can't wait. And then after that, I can just work on social media all day, every day, and have that be the one thing that I'm doing, and that literally sounds like my absolute dream life, so pretty excited for that. But obviously I will be balancing that with having an epic summer with my friends, because restrictions are being lifted soon, so I'll actually be able to see my friends again and do things, and it's gonna be great. Next, while working on social media full time, I will be saving up to get my own flat in Leeds, probably, maybe somewhere else, but probably Leeds. Which after that, I need to find a hot skater boyfriend or girlfriend, obviously, and then get a cute little ginger kitten, and then world domination. Maybe missed a few steps over here, but I ran out of paper, so there we have it. That is the whole story. hope you enjoyed this video, I guess. I don't know. Well, I mean, if you only ever subscribe to me for like university videos, you might want to unsubscribe because won't be able to do those anymore. But on the other hand, if you are still sticking around, then let me know what kind of things that you want to see, because I kind of have like a vague idea of where I want to go with my channel now, but still open to like trying new things, so let me know what you want to see. Also, sorry if I'm like a little bit all over the place with uploads over the next few weeks, because obviously moving home and everything is going to be a long process, so I will try to keep up with everything over that time, but then obviously after that I'll be able to post a lot more than normal and better videos than normal, so very excited for that. Hope you guys are excited too. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.